Okay, people, we're live on our back on our Sunset Sunday. We got a special guest tonight on our Sunset Sunday. Let me bring them out on here now. Let's see, Kent. Okay, people, what's up? You hear me? We
Yep.
good? Okay, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming on board. I know you're a busy guy. Been seeing all the stuff you're doing online with your new, I guess it's a new project you got going on.
Yeah. We've been pretty busy working on some new stuff, and yeah, it's definitely been.
Hello?
Can you still
Hello,
hear me?
hello. Yeah. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
You can't hear
Can
me,
you hear me?
Kent? Yeah, Kent,
Yep.
we can hear you. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like a friend of mine tells me sometime when we had audio issues, he said, I'll say, can you hear me? He'll say, no, I can't hear you.
Yeah. I've been just using this platform for the last
Okay.
almost a year, I guess.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now,
I
Kent?
just picked okay. I forgot. See, with me getting this mic,
Oh,
I
you got
have
a
to
new
put on
mic. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have to put my headphones on so I can hear you guys.
Okay. He just got a new
Yeah.
Yeti, so he's testing it out, I guess. So man,
Okay.
Yes, I am.
how was your holidays? How was everybody's holidays? How was yours?
It was good.
It
It
was
was
good.
Oh,
good.
it was for all intents and purposes pretty good, pretty good.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
didn't do too much, but just saw a couple of movies and just pretty much relaxed.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
How
I
was
got a
yours?
surprise. I
Well, I
got a
kind of
surprise
fit.
visit from
I
Europe. Yeah, friend of mine.
yeah, yeah.
So man, hey, Kent, I mean Steve, what? I know you got a tight schedule and everything. What is this business that you're doing now? I know you do a lot of different things
Yeah.
because I've known you.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
Okay.
been we've had our hands in a lot of different things. Still got our hands in a lot of different things.
Okay.
We wanted to do something in the travel space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but really, we've been wanting to do something in travel space for a while, but we really wanted to make sure it was something that could be that had a, had the bones for we can actually make some significant cash flow for the efforts that we bring. Not to mention not just us, but people that would be a part of the community of it. So so we got this came across our desk back in late October.
Okay.
A new travel venture, if you will, new travel network marketing business. Um, has some really good. Got a chance to check a lot of it out even before they really just launched a Monday. This past Monday was the
Okay.
official first day. So that's why That's why when we talk, it's like, dude, it's just been crazy this week.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I know
so
because I understand because like I said, I had a visit from a friend of mine from Europe, what I wasn't expecting.
mm,
Because of all this pandemic
oh
stuff
yeah.
was going on, I didn't think she was going to be coming over here. Well, since you're into travel, how is that? Is that affecting the business any? With
Um,
people
no,
traveling and stuff and
well,
restriction.
people are gonna always travel. Of course, people in the MLM space are a little finicky at times, but this product is such a universal product, and it creates a lot of it gives a lot of deep discounts on a lot of different things, not just discounts on travel, but other additional benefits. So one thing I've learned, people still going to travel.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
No matter what it is, no matter what's going on. I remember I always tell this story. We had to because we live here in Vegas, so most of our families in the central part of the U.S., Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, pretty much in the central part of the U.S. is where both of our families are mostly stationed. And so we always flying. We're always flying. We still fly all the time. So you
Mhm.
got to check on my daughters. They go to school in Texas and in Louisiana, and so we're always visiting. And I remember during the height of COVID, like in around, I don't know, May, June of 2020, we had to go visit my mom who stays in Memphis,
Mhm.
and plane just packed,
Mhm. Yeah.
like literally packed. There, packed, coming back. and then we had to take another trip to go for Thanksgiving. We went to Dallas. This was in 2020. Um, to go visit because everybody had been home a lot and everything. So I said, let's just get out. Plane packed.
Mm,
Get there. Um, um, and then we come back to Vegas, and unfortunately, we had a death in the family, so we had to go back to Dallas.
wow.
Um, and it's the same thing everywhere we've gone. Even this year, we've done a lot of travel, mostly family related or business related when we do travel, and that's pretty much most people is that. So I always tell people when you look at a lot of these opportunities, you think, well, because everything in pandemic or people traveling, I'm like, yeah, because if somebody got to go somewhere, your mama's sick, your daughter got to get picked up from school, you got a graduation to go to, you got whatever, and the only place only way you can get there fast is by plane. You're just gonna go,
Yeah.
whether you drive, and a lot of it's not about planes. A lot of it's hotel related.
Okay.
So
See, it has more other advantages instead as uh, one was the assets,
yeah,
essentials, business stuff. You give people like maybe some discounts on, like you said, hotel, travel,
yeah,
kind of like something like what AAA gives, but probably
yeah.
on a higher end level.
Yeah,
Hmm.
probably a little, probably more deeper discounts
Okay.
than AAA, but um, also comes with flight insurance. Also comes with access to the airport lounges.
Hmm.
All kinds of additional benefits. There's daily discounts. So like if you need to go, like we're going to go get something to eat, like literally right after this. So
Okay.
we get access to a portal that gives us discounts on restaurants and all kinds of stuff and movie tickets and literally anything. It's like actually the biggest discount network in the country.
So
So
you,
so we've been overall we just been really busy with that, and that's been keeping us pretty busy over the last few months. And then we just did the launch back in this past Monday, and so it's gonna be very interesting. And has it made an impact? No, there's still a lot of momentum. A lot of people, because one thing I've learned too, and one thing I've accepted when it comes to this COVID stuff, it's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down for a long time. This isn't going away anytime soon. But people still
yeah.
got to go. They're going to have to still go to places. They're still going to have to
Oh
do
yes.
things.
Oh
That's
yes.
not going to change. That never,
Yeah.
matter of fact, that never changed. Now, I know with Omicron, there's a lot of people out sick.
Hmm.
So, and that's pretty much how it's been pretty much through the whole entire COVID thing. It's affecting a lot of different things. Um, but travel isn't that's not gonna go anywhere. People still gonna find ways to get there, whether it's either through plane, car, train,
Well,
bus.
except if like my friend that came in from Geneva, she's doing internationals. Like she had to go through a whole lot of different things to even get
Yeah,
here because she had to take the test to get to the US. Then
yeah,
she had to take another test to even leave to
to
go
get
back to
back.
Geneva. But
Yeah.
then, it was a whole lot of different things she had to go through. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't think she was coming. I heard from her
Mhm.
nephew said because in fact, her nephew lives in Dallas. So he
Oh,
said, "Well,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
she's coming next month." Like, yeah, no, she's not coming. I know she ain't coming. Not with this crazy
Yeah.
mess going on. There's no way in hell. She called me. In
And
fact, when she got to, I live in Columbus, Ohio. She came to Ohio. Then she had to go to Dallas like a couple of hours after she got here because she had a cousin that passed away. Talking about people passing away.
mm,
She had to go
yeah.
to a funeral in Dallas.
Yep.
And she was
Yep.
only there for like a day. So she flew back here. And then she called me that Monday, which was the 20th, and said, what you doing tonight? I'm like, what do you care what I'm doing tonight? You 6,000 miles across the water.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was even here. And then she told me
Yeah.
she was here. I said, oh, hell no. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
it's crazy. Yeah. It's a
But people
crazy.
gotta go. They gotta go. And one
Yeah.
thing I learned too is people, even us, because we talk about this all the time. We're tired of just being at home a lot. I mean, I'm 51. My wife is 46, and you know, and we're empty nesters now. So we most of the time we're at home. Like I live here in Vegas, so I mean, the whole mystique of Vegas is just where I live now. I'm not like on the strip every day and all that. We did all that years ago.
Yeah, I used to live in
Yeah.
LA, so I know
Okay.
about I used to go to Vegas a lot when I lived in LA.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure Vegas has changed a lot.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
talking about in the 90s.
It's
So,
changed, and but even though we're most at home when we're here, other than when we go get something to eat, or if we got to go to the
uh
mall or just go to a restaurant or something. But um, like not this weekend, but next weekend, we're just gonna go and stay. I think we're gonna stay at the um the Resorts World Casino, which is one of the newest casino resorts that opened up about 6 months ago. And we're gonna say that we've been there a few times. It's amazing. It's beautiful. A lot of cool stuff there, but we've never stayed there. So next weekend we're just gonna just go, just stay for a day, and pick a nice room. We get a really good deep discount because of what we have with TRVL.
so you're
Um,
using that
oh
to
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
that's smart. Use your product.
yeah, we use
Mer-
that because their prices beat out, even some of the different stuff that we have that we've been using, like different, because when you travel a lot, you get clubs and points and stuff like
mhm.
that and different things. It's actually beating out a lot of those. So it's really cool. So and I always tell people you can do the same thing. So it's not about just having to get out, and go, thousands of miles away or whatever. Maybe you just want to take a staycation. Maybe you just want to go do something. Maybe you just want to, you know, um, go to a show, go to a game, because we get discounts on all that kind of stuff. It's not just hotels, car rentals, and airlines and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty much anything that's of leisure, travel and leisure. That's really what, encompasses TRVL, which is the real vacation lifestyle.
So
So
you guys get discounts for international travel also?
yeah, yeah. So, anybody can use our portal anywhere, in the world.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna have to
so
check. I'm gonna have to hook up with you about that because I'm been trying to get over to Geneva myself.
yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
I gotta get my passport renewed because when I tried to get it renewed, they were not doing renewing passports for a bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's another thing. But since a lot of people, I know more about you than a lot of people that will see this video. Um, give a little bit about your background and stuff and how you got all this started about this.
I guess the Cliff Note version is, me and my wife, we started well, I would say me first. I started doing like network marketing back like in 98, 99. Right before 2000 hit. And never really made any big money doing anything, just learning. But I was very coachable. I was probably like the person that you would want to recruit because I was very
Okay.
coachable. So if you said,
Okay.
Steve, you need to be at the meeting at the hotel every Thursday, guess where I would be? At the meeting every Thursday.
Yeah,
I
I
went to every
remember those
training.
days. Yeah.
I went to all those different things, and this is before the internet and all this stuff that I just did. I learned old school stuff. and
Right.
um but we never really made any money. We made some money here and there, but nothing major at all. Nothing to where I was going to quit my job or buy a new car or go take a vacation. But just $100 for this month and $50 that month or something, but just enough to make me believe that it worked.
Mhm.
Um, and then as the internet started maturing and Facebook came around, and well, first it was MySpace, then it was Facebook or whatever. So when things started getting faster, like with YouTube came out in 2005, really blew up in 2006, like right when I started working for T-Mobile. Um, and even then we were still trying to do things online. I was trying to kind of dip into internet marketing, never really got any success even with that. Um, not until around 2011 when I came across My Lead System Pro.
Right. Yeah.
And when I came across Molly System Pro just through frustration, I've told the story a million times, but just I was at work and I was literally going to throw in the towel because we've been doing this stuff for years, but we never really made any money. I felt like we kind of paid our dues. We've been to all the events and we did
Mhm.
this and we all these different companies and stuff. And um, I was just like, how are these people making this kind of money online? I don't understand. I'm like, how are they doing this stuff? And just through my research on Facebook and YouTube, well, not Facebook, but Google and YouTube, I come across some webinar talking about how you can generate leads nonstop using Facebook, and it was an older MLSP lead magnet.
Oh yeah. You
And
probably saw the same one I saw. What what got me interested in MLSP was the slogan "Be the hunted, not the hunter."
yeah, it was
That's what
something along
attracted.
those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
And,
attracted me.
and
Yeah.
it was a video that had, I can't remember the couple's name. There I can't think of the name at the moment. But anyway, that led me down a rabbit hole, and I found My System Pro, and that really opened up my understanding of really how to really market on the internet, through branding yourself through, because before all that, Gary, Greg, is that we were like just pitching, like we were
Yeah.
being a part of some business, and the company
Mhm.
gives you like a link, right?
Right.
And I would just, hey everybody, go here, make $500 a week, click here, and just crickets.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did that for years, like trying to do
Yeah.
stuff online, but I just never could figure out. And then when I got an MLSP, it just all hit me. It's like, man, that makes sense, because some of the different businesses that I've joined over the years online, the only reason I joined them was because, and those individuals that I didn't know, was because they had a video.
Right.
That was the only reason but I never really thought of it. I never reverse engineered, like, how did I get in this business? Well, I got in the business because I saw some guy's video and he was talking about this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, man, that makes sense. I'm gonna do that. Then the next thing you know, I'm signing up with this guy or lady or whoever. And it was because of video. So through MLSP, it opened the door for, how to really build know, like, and trust and attraction marketing and all. And the rest is history from there. But that, how to use tools and social media and everything. But that's really how it began for us. And if it wasn't for that community, it probably would have took us a lot longer.
Is that how you got into doing video? Was because of
Yeah.
you're uh, attracted to other people's videos or whatever?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I was really a student of a lot of the trainings that they had in the back office of MLSP, and everybody just kept saying, make videos, take pictures, tell stories, let people know who you are, give value to people. So I was like, okay, it makes sense. I understand it, but nobody knows who I am. So how do
Were
I?
you around when well, Mark Harvard
Yep,
and I forget the
yep.
other guy's name, just his partner.
The MLM blues man,
Yeah, yeah.
Frank
That's when I
Marino.
came around in there during that because I followed them a lot too.
Yep,
And
yep.
then yeah,
I learned a lot. That's where a
yeah,
lot of that came from,
yeah.
was because they were already doing that. Like when I got
Right,
in, they were already doing that
right.
stuff, and they already had trainings, and I think it was called YouTube Mojo or whatever it was called back in the day.
Yeah, YouTube,
I
yeah.
bought that course, and so I was really a student. So for a year, this is September. Matter of fact, I know the exact time. It was September 2011. I was still working at T-Mobile, and I had access to that platform. And about a year later, I wasn't, and at that time, I wasn't building anything. I was just working. Nacy was working, raising our kids, just going to work every week. Working for the weekend, like
Yeah.
everybody does. But in the meantime, I was watching a lot of content, and I was really learning. I was like, man, this stuff makes sense. And so for a year, I had the membership, never really used it. Just when I had time, I would watch some information. I love the community. Everything just made sense. So I said, well, when I find something that I want to do online, I'm gonna test this stuff out. So eventually, a year later, around late June of 2012, when I found out MSP in September of 2011. So June of 2012, I found an opportunity that I wanted to promote. It was an auto club membership company called MCA. Very
Yeah, I heard about them.
simple program, kind of like a AAA service.
Yeah.
$40 membership. You made an $80 commission paid the next week. So I said, okay, this is pretty cool. Seemed like it's got a lot of momentum. A lot of people making some money with it. It's very simple. Let me see how this method works. So, I made a video. And the video was a testimonial video. I had signed up a few people that I worked with at T-Mobile, and so they don't count because they weren't internet based. Just people that I knew, that I see every day. Hey, bro,
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna make some money with this AAA type service type thing. I'm like, well, how's that working? Next thing you know, they a couple people signed up. Not even a lot of people, so they don't count. But because they were people that I knew. But I made a video, my very first video, mind you, on just what had happened over the last week in this program. It was maybe like a 4 or 5 minute video. I just saying, hey guys, I just joined this program, called MCA, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty cool. I got my first check and I opened up. At that time, they sent you checks in the mail. So I opened up it and I showed, hey, here's my first check. It was only a couple $100, but to me, it was like $20,000. So it was, $200, and say, hey, if you want to get more information, I'm excited about it. It's really, really simple. And again, I wasn't trying to be perfect. I was just being myself. It was my first video. I was nervous as all get out, but I just said, hey, it made some money. Check it out. And, you'll see the link. If you got any questions, just call me. And I gave my number. And I used that video. And I start promoting that on Facebook, and I would promote it in groups, and I would promote it. I mean, put it on YouTube as well. So I was promoting. At that time, you couldn't upload the video. This is how long ago that was. You couldn't upload video to Facebook at that time. You can only link out to videos.
Oh, okay.
You can upload pictures, but
Right.
you couldn't upload video. That came like a year later. But man, that was a long time ago. Wow, I ain't thought about that in a while. But
Yeah.
So I was linking my YouTube link in different groups and stuff, and because I learned from MLSP, I said, hey, whatever you do, get people to see you first, and then just tell them where they need to go to get the information. So that's what I did. And so I made a video. Then I think about a week and a half later, 2 weeks later, I made another video on what has happened since that video, and what you get when you join the company, and how the compensation plan works. Because they said, hey, whatever you do, start making content, give value to people. Just don't pitch to people, give value to them. So I said, okay, well, I'll make a video and I'll show them how the comp plan works. And then I'll show them what they get when they join. And I'll give them a few tips on what to do on day one when you get started. So I made that little 25-minute video or whatever it was, 30-minute video, and I started promoting that video. And then we moved to Vegas. And in the midst of that, so I didn't make a video for almost a month because we was moving and doing this, and I was still working, and Lacey was still there in Dallas. And I made another video. My third video was my 45-day review in this company. So, and I just kind of shared what's happened so far in the last 45 days. We moved to Vegas. We've been using this program, and I've been making an extra, $300, $400, $500 a week or more, and I show, hey, we're using this system here. You get this system when you join, we will create this for you, and you'll be able to use this as well. So long story short, we use that formula throughout our entire career. And what made the difference for everything was creating video content. And that's why typically now I'm kind of known for creating videos.
Yeah, that's why how I discovered you was one of your videos. But you've taken video to another level that I hadn't seen anybody else, not even Mark Harbert in there. Because when I ran it, you was doing some almost like Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, that was my niche. I was like, well, since this works, and I've always been, me and my wife were big movie buffs. We love movies. That's what we do. That's what, prior to the pandemic, we literally were at the movie theater every week. Like literally. That's just,
I used to go to movies like that too. Yeah.
That's our pastime. We love to do it. We enjoy it. I get a chance to unplug from Facebook and social media for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. And, it's just a good, we have some me time without having to worry about my phone and all that kind of stuff. And I just enjoy it. And a lot of times growing up, I always would look at movies and look at scenes, and I'd be like, man, I know how they did that. Man, I could make something like that. So we wanted, when I really started getting a really good understanding about video marketing and all that, I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I want to make my videos different. I want to make them very professional. And I want to make people say, how in the hell did he do that?
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like,
You
what?
know,
Yeah, he
that's just
doing
what I
something.
wanted to do, and that's what's kind of I just always wanted to be very creative
What
uh,
what
with
what caught
with
my
a lot of my
attention about
content.
your video was one you did use the drone shot. I don't
Hmm.
remember which video it was, but it was one of them I saw on YouTube, and it was an intro. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a drone shot. I mean, I knew about drones, but I didn't know
Yeah,
all the stuff that that was available with them and stuff. I knew some people who had them. Oh, but dang,
yeah.
that's pretty cool to do that. You still do that? Use that much
I
here and
haven't
there?
done a lot of drone stuff
Uh,
lately in the last few years. It's mostly just been, there was a big push on drones for a while there. That's what everybody was talking about drones. I think it's pretty much kind of the normal thing now. People still do it,
yeah.
but I haven't done any drone stuff. I've got still have my drone. It's a pretty big. It's a bigger one. It's like when they first came out, so they were a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And I still have it. It still works. I really want to get a smaller one, but yeah, there's all kind of cool ways. But I always tell people, if you're just starting out marketing, just keep it simple. Just
Yeah.
get in the habit of just creating content. The best camera that you can use is your phone. When I started marketing, the camera that I use, I think it's still up here. Yeah, it's this camera here. When I first started, it was this little camera here. This thing is, I don't know, maybe 15 years old now, at least. It's a Canon HV30, which is it uses tape. So that's how old this is.
Oh,
So
okay.
when we
Yeah.
first started in 2012, I was using this camera, which is just a regular camcorder. I didn't go out and buy it. This is something that we already had in our house. I used it for like weddings and family events, vacations. Every household has like a camcorder. You remember those days, right?
Yeah.
Probably not so much now because everybody
Yeah.
just films with their
Well, I
phone.
I have an
You know,
old camera of my dad's,
yeah,
but it's really antique. He got it in Korea. Now, yeah, that's
yeah,
telling you how old that is.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean, but that was
yeah,
kind of normal for
yeah,
years. A lot of families would always have like some kind of camera
yeah.
to record birthdays and all. We recorded a lot of my sons and daughters' birthdays and stuff with this camera. So
Oh,
when I said, okay, and the phones back in 2012, they were cool, but a lot of phone. I worked for T-Mobile, so I remember this. A lot of phones didn't have HD
right.
quality cameras as standard feature. Now every phone,
Every phone.
it's
Yep.
a standard feature for every phone to have an HD quality lens to record HD footage. But
My
back in
first video.
2012,
Yeah.
it wasn't. So
My
I
first.
used
Yeah.
this
I
because this
remember that.
did record
Mhm.
HD, but it was tape. So when I would
Oh,
record something, I had to plug it up to my computer and then move the video file, let it play, and it would. Man, that was crazy. I had to move the video file into the computer so I can edit the footage. So that's but you never thought about it like we're thinking about it now. That's just what you had to do, and that's
so it
what
was
you
like
did.
one of those digital cartridges that you
It
had
was a
in it.
tape. You had to take a basically you had to like it would open up like this, and there would
Right.
be a tape. There's a tape in here. It's not charged, but
Oh, okay.
and then you will plug it up to your to the deal, and then you plug it up to your computer, and then you will put it in a certain mode, and you will
Okay.
hit play on the footage that you wanted, and then it
Uh-huh.
would move that video footage. They would digitize it and move it into your
Oh, it digitized it
computer.
out of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So
I
it was a
remember.
little work.
Yeah. I remember my first one was from a
Yeah.
flip phone. My first video, talking about
Yeah.
no HD. It looked so grainy. I'm like, what
Yeah.
happened like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it got me some traction on it. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. Yeah.
shoot, now just use your iPhone, your
Yeah.
Android. I
I s-
always tell people, just matter of fact, the capabilities and footage and the way what shoots on my little Samsung Galaxy Note, there's
uh-huh.
way more functionality in this device than was in this.
Wow.
This big old
These are
monstrosity.
more mobile for you to carry around than one of
Yep.
those.
So
You
just
know.
start. I always tell people, just
Yeah.
start with your phone. Just start making videos there. If you start making videos and you start getting into your zone and you start because what happened when I started with this and kept doing it, I was getting better and better. I'm like, you know what? I need a better way to do this. And then I invested into a better camera.
They
because then it
even
made sense because I was going to continue to make videos, and I always tell because I've coached people and I've had people that I've worked with that didn't have anything, and then they would go out and buy all this fancy stuff that I've got, and then never use it. So I always tell people,
Hmm.
don't now if you've already been making videos and you've been moving and shaking and everything's been moving and you just trying to get to that next level, absolutely upgrade because you already in the zone of making content. You're going to make more content. You're just trying to up your productivity, your production value. That's all you're trying to do.
and they got
So
essentials for all these phones now. Tripods, the
yeah,
lighting for your phone.
yeah.
So it's
So
almost like you don't really need to buy one of those real expensive cameras. You might just
no,
need to get some of
no,
the essential stuff, the lighting and everything, which
that's
that's
it.
what I'm going to invest in
Yep.
and do
Get
your
you good
thing.
lighting, good microphone.
Right.
That's really, and they even have microphones that fit really well on your
Right.
phones. And
They have a lavalier type.
yep,
I've seen those. I just saw somebody with one
yep,
that you can attach to the iPhone, and then the other extensions out where it goes out to it picks up the audio 30 feet out.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said, wow.
it's all kinds of stuff, man. So technology is definitely caught up. If a person wants to start making video, it's pretty. The price of entry is very very low now.
Yeah, it
So
sure is.
and most people typically have an iPhone or whatever, so they already have a really good camera in their pocket. And I would just tell people just start there before you try. If you need a better microphone, so if you're out and about, it's windy, make sure you have a good mic. If you're doing stuff in your home, you know, make videos by the window or make sure there's really good lighting or whatever. If you need to get your light, you can get, there's all kind, oh my God, there's all kind of options for lighting. I said, that's it. You can get what you need to make quality video content for less than $100. Like real
My,
talk.
yeah, my thing is
A good
getting
light, good microphone
Yep.
could cost you less than
yeah.
$100.
And if you're doing any editing, you got to get. I was using the
Right.
Microsoft Movie Maker for a while.
Yeah, they don't
Uh,
make that anymore.
no.
If you're on an iPhone, here's a good tip. My favorite editing program for iPhone is called Luma Fusion. It's like $10, I think. Well, it was
Well,
$10
it's an
when I bought
app.
it. It might be 20 now. I don't know, but it
It's
was
an
really,
app
really
for your
cheap.
phone.
Yeah, it's only for iPhone devices. So if you have an
Okay.
iPad or an iPhone,
Uh,
it's only for
well,
iOS
that counts
devices.
me out.
Well, I'm
What's
gonna
your
give you another one because I have an
Okay.
Android. I actually have both, but Luma Fusion is for iOS
Okay.
devices.
Okay.
If you have an Android, um, hold on, because I got several. Let me look. This is my favorite one. If you're hold on, let me find it. On an Android, it's called InShot. Shot. It's free.
In shot.
They've got some paid levels that you can upgrade to give you some more features or whatever, but just the stock free one is pretty robust if you're going to be doing some editing on your mobile phone. And then on your computer,
Hmm.
a good one on your computer, if you have a if you have an Apple computer, Final Cut.
Yeah, I've heard
If
you
you
talk about Final Cut. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a Windows, you can always use Adobe Premiere. Those are your two top. These are your two top video editing programs on computers: Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere. Those are your top two. So movies are edited on Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
because
how
I remember,
robust
yeah,
they are.
they
Okay.
go they shoot a lot of movies with was in digital mostly now.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. With
So
the
a
with
lot of
the
them use Adobe Premiere. There are some other ones out
yeah.
there, and they're all good. So it just all depends, what you're looking for. A free one is called Hit Film Express. HIT Film Express. That one's good for Windows, or they've got versions for Windows and for Mac. And they've got that's a free version. Um, it's pretty robust for a free application, and there's others too, but all that stuff works, and and the main thing is just getting over the fear of just getting on camera and just being consistent. And a lot of times nowadays, you don't even have to really film stuff. You can just go live and do
Yeah.
stuff like what we're doing now. So a
Yeah.
lot of
Right.
people have built their careers literally. I mean, I'm not even joking, not even a little bit. A lot of people have become very, very successful just doing live videos, like these, like the interviews and
Right. And I've
discussions and
done,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
I've been using those stories and the reels a lot the
Mhm.
last 4 or 5 months right now. And I find I'm getting more hits and traction with that than I do even with lives.
Yep. So things are
You know,
easier now. Like we didn't
yeah,
have all
live.
this when I started. You really had to make content.
Yeah.
Now, really, all you got to do is just document. like
Yeah.
what this is, what we're doing now. This is
Uh-huh.
just documenting.
All right.
We're
I
not
see.
filming anything per se. We're just discussing,
Yeah.
and you're just documenting
Mhm.
our discussion. That's all you're
I
doing.
even like this streaming service
StreamYard.
better than Zoom.
Yeah, I like StreamYard better than Zoom too.
Yeah, this
I like anything better than Zoom actually, but
yeah, Zoom kind of this thing lets
that's a
me
whole nother show. But
yeah, this lets me multi-stream to different platforms and Zoom didn't do it.
yeah,
That's what I liked about this. But
yeah,
I have another one I haven't started using yet. So that was one of the reasons why I got on Zoom and switched actually this show I was doing on Zoom. Then I rented it to this and I was testing it out. And I told Kent, man, we're going over to this way because this is more you have more features to
it's more
brand
intuitive.
yourself. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more intuitive.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier for people to understand. Zoom
Yeah.
is can be a little complicated. Um,
Mhm.
people hack your webinars and stuff like that and everything too. So I really don't use Zoom for only time I really use it is if I need to do a training and I need everybody on. um,
Uh-huh.
um, live. But I never do webinars. I never pitch. I never present using Zoom. I always use either like StreamYard or there's another thing that I use that's for Macs only. It's called Ecamm.
I've
Very
heard that.
similar. It's very similar to StreamYard. It's probably like one of their competitors. But Ecamm is only for Mac, Apple computers. They
Well,
don't have it for
I'm doing this on my Apple right now. So
Okay, well, yeah,
yeah,
Ecamm. So
yeah,
Ecamm,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
typically my number one
Uh,
platform for presenting and sharing. Number two is StreamYard. StreamYard has had a lot of major updates in 2021.
yeah.
So they're pretty much right there with Ecamm now in a lot of different aspects. But and then there's some things that Ecamm does better than, StreamYard does better than Ecamm and vice versa. But they're both great platforms. Um, those are the two. I love StreamYard. I love Ecamm. I don't like Zoom.
Well, I mean, I still
um,
have Zoom.
yeah,
I was only well, I got this discount from Diane Hawkman
yeah,
from her on a Zoom thing. I don't pay what a lot of people were paying for the one you get
Yeah.
MLSP, but it gave me a
Yeah.
lot of robust, but it was still I was having a lot of issues with it. And
yeah,
I can't remember
yeah,
some of the issues. We get kicked off, or like you said, got hacked, and
yeah,
it didn't let me
Oh yeah.
multi-stream. Channels. You can
yeah.
only do either
One deal.
YouTube or Facebook. You couldn't do them both at the
Yeah,
same time.
right.
And this
There's a lot
right
of limitations. I'm sure they're
yeah.
gonna be making some updates and doing some things as they evolve.
Okay.
Uh, but other than that, it's cool. But hey,
Okay.
I
I
gotta
know. I was
run.
going to say
Um,
I'm glad you gave me the time to be on the show tonight, and I know you busy, and I appreciate you for doing this. And I've known you for a while, even if I haven't met you physically, but you know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
we've been knowing each other
Yeah,
online on
yeah,
Facebook and stuff for
yeah,
some years now, actually.
yeah.
First meeting
And
you,
Nice.
man. I'm glad to meet you.
oh yeah, Kent, definitely same here. Glad we got a chance
Yeah.
to hang out. I told him I
I'm
would.
about
I
to
knew it
get
was gonna.
with you with your travel thing. For the
Yeah, just let
travel.
me know. Hit me up. You got me on Facebook and
Yeah.
everything, and we're just finished out the first week, and that's why I got another call I got to get on here in about
Okay.
20 minutes, so I got to get ready for that. And
All right, man. Well,
but
I appreciate you giving us the time. And this evening, I've been trying to get you probably for over a year the
yeah,
interview. So,
yeah, it's been I get I don't give them that often.
yeah,
Not that I don't want to. It just I know the last 6 months has been kind of busy and trying to think of what direction we want to go in 2022.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing some things outside of the MLM space, but I love the travel piece. That was one thing that we didn't have. We didn't have a really good offer. So you're going to start seeing some things from us around travel, credit, because those two
Okay.
things merge right together for
Okay.
points, credit cards that give you benefits
Mm-hmm.
and different things, but you got to have a certain level of credit to be able to
Right.
get those things. And so we're going to be, talking a lot about travel and benefits around life and credit and getting your credit together and so you can
If you
have
wanna,
access to more.
like, we got some people looking in the audience. If you want to give any information how they can get a hold of you, you can right here if you want to do that.
Probably I know we got a few things in flux. Just get with me on Facebook, just
Okay.
Stephen Rachel.
Okay.
Just Stephen Rachel, Stephen Steven Rachel. Just Stephen Rachel. If you go there, and you'll be able to get plugged in. And I know we have and I know my wife has our blog, which is Steve and Lanacia.com.
Okay. Okay.
That's Steve and Lanacia, Lanacia. I know it's a Lanacia, Steve and Lanacia.com. But if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see some of the new things that we'll be working on, and definitely get with Greg and Kent as well, for sure. And but yeah, we'll be in the lab, working on a few things. And but yeah, just let me know and we'll go from there. But hey, thanks for having me
Okay.
on. And hey guys, hey, thanks. Appreciate it,
All right,
Kent.
then. Thank you,
Nice
man.
seeing you.
We
And
appreciate
we'll
you
see you
today.
guys soon.
Thanks for coming
Okay,
on,
man. Take
man.
it easy. Yeah, thanks for getting
Anytime.
on. All right.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to all you also, and everybody in
All
your
right, guys.
family.
I'll talk to you later.
All
Oh,
right.
same to you. Happy New Year. Take care.
Oh, so let me go back here. Wow, that was a pretty good interview and stuff. So what's been on with you, man?
Yeah.
Like Alice came here. That was not expected. I took her. Man, she had a hard time getting back home too. So this is
Oh,
crazy.
snap. I can show that. Yeah.
Well, it's because like the flight when I took her to the airport because she didn't have a car this time. They wanted $2,000,
Okay.
you know,
Oh,
and for a couple of weeks. She said, "Nah, forget that."
yeah.
So
Especially since she's international. Oh,
yeah,
they're gonna try to make up that loss. My gosh.
so but that's just that in 2019 when she's here, she only paid $500. She was here 3 weeks. That's a quadruple expense jump
Okay.
from that time to then. That's only been 2 years ago. But her flight
Yeah, I
got
wouldn't.
delayed
I
out of
wouldn't have done
Columbus
that
3
either. Oh
times.
my god.
So she was supposed to get home on the 6th. She didn't get home till the 7th. She had to stay another day in New Jersey. She stayed with her girlfriend's house. But it's just crazy because the
Mm-hmm.
weather situation there was this. I don't know. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Yeah. They got hit. Yeah, they got hit pretty good.
So how you like your mic?
I'm liking it, but I'm trying to, and maybe it's just something in my head that I'm not getting, on how to adjust the output so I can hear it without putting on the headphones.
Well, even when I've used the mics, I mean you can use the headphone through there, but you can if you
Mm-hmm.
directly plug it into your computer in the back, you don't need the headphone. How do you have
Oh,
that
in the
mic plugged
back.
in?
Okay.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah,
USB
because I
ports in the back.
got okay. Yeah, because mine was on the side here, so I just hooked it up to the side.
Well,
You
you can
know.
do that. Just hook it up. You just hook up the mic USB port to the side. That's what mine is. I don't use a mic on that. When I have my
Mm-hmm.
laptop and the Yeti hooked up, I don't have to use the mic. I
Mm-hmm.
mean the headphone. So it's just
Okay.
using that USB port, and then you still should be able to hear through your computer, and they should be able to hear you through the mic too, because it should show up on there or
Okay.
whatever
Yeah,
icon that's.
because I can. Yeah, because I know the sound is going out because I checked that, but for me hearing it, I couldn't hear it. So that's why
That's you couldn't
I
hear it.
just
You
plugged
couldn't
in
hear
the
it through your
headphone to make sure.
computer. You couldn't hear it through the
No,
computer.
I could hear it through the computer, but I couldn't hear it like I'm hearing it now through my headphones. I couldn't hear
Oh,
it.
well,
If I'm
that's
making
because.
sense.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to use your headphones, you don't have to. That's what I was saying. You know, like you've been doing. Like right now, my computer,
Yeah.
the mic is hooked up. I'm not using a headphone, and even when I use the Yeti one, I don't ever use a headphone. So I guess it just depends on how you want to use it. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can do that because you got that
Right.
hooked up to the Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
You have that hooked up through the Yeti mic.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference. Now you could
Yeah, I
do
do.
you could do one or two things. You can hook it up through your actual computer and do the same thing. It just depends on how you want to do it. Or you can
Okay, I
just
got
use
you.
the mic through
Just
your computer and do it that way. Yep. So,
yeah,
but
like I did, like I have been before. So okay.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it just all depends on what's going on. So this is a good
Mm-hmm.
start out to 2022, people. Well, glad that you could whoever's been here that joined us tonight. If you didn't, you can see the replay. We're gonna be doing some, like Steve said, yeah, there's some other things that too we're gonna be coming down the pipe that we're gonna share. Some things. This has been a crazy start of the year with, especially in Hollywood.
Man.
Ooh,
Ooh.
people are dying like left to right. Start out with Betty White, um,
Mm-hmm.
then Peter Bogdanovich, the director, um, and then Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
just like all within a few weeks, a
Yeah,
week or so.
and then
Was it?
I don't know if the guy who produced the group M2 with that famous song "Juicy Fruit," he
Oh,
passed away
he
earlier
did.
today.
He did.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember.
James M2.
I have the 12-inch vinyl cut it at.
Mm.
That's all.
Everybody
So yeah, I
used
know.
to everybody used to rock to that song back in the day.
Yeah, I heard that in New York the first time. Lot of the music that I got, I heard on the
Okay.
East Coast before I heard it here. In fact, there's a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I got on vinyl I never heard here. So, or at this record store that I used to get a lot of stuff from. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy start of
Oh,
2022.
can't forget. I know you're probably not a football fan, but we can't forget Coach Madden. You know, because
Oh
he
well, yeah,
not only
he passed
uh,
too. Yeah,
popular NFL coach. Yeah,
yeah, I remember Coach Madden.
his legacy is pretty much set because people are going to keep on buying, and I'm probably one of them. Going to keep on buying one of that Madden football games.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I see you.
Shout out to all.
You and Steve are. Well, he's from Dallas, so y'all Dallas
Oh,
fans.
okay.
I saw the
Yeah,
I saw the post
I didn't
right here.
realize he was from Dallas.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
knew he was
realize
from
he was.
Dallas.
Yeah, I saw. Okay, but I saw him with the hat on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. So crazy situations going on with with everything. This weather is kind of crazy too, been
Yeah,
up and down, up and down, up and down. You know,
yeah. I think as far as or I can't even say the word precipitation wise,
precipitation.
we yeah we precipitation wise, we've been lucky. So
Yeah,
we'll probably get hit sooner or later.
because New York and the whole Eastern Seaboard was supposed to be. They were supposed to have been hit by this thing called a bomb cyclone. It's like a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the cyclones are like nothing but hurricanes, but they like in the Southeast Asia, they call them cyclones. So
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
were supposed to get New York or the Eastern Seaboard was supposed to get hit with a snowstorm equivalent to a hurricane. Instead of rain and stuff, it was supposed to be snow. So, and that's
Right.
why I'm saying Alice was lucky to get out of New York or out of Jersey area because there was a thing coming that way, and I was wondering if she's going to even get out of Columbus to get there because they were canceling flights there a couple of days before she even got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. She called me yesterday. Her one, her one,
Mm-hmm.
her one package didn't get, or suitcase didn't get there. I don't know if it got there uh yet. When I don't understand it since it was delayed. How come they just didn't put on the plane where the plane that was going there? Some of these
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You just don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
2022, I don't know. It's kind of been it's starting out a little bit shaky, a little bit for me. So
Just, 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 uh, just a continuation of 2020 and
yeah, it's
21.
kind of
But
because now they're talking about.
it's the first week. It's the first
I
week,
know,
so
yeah, I know it's the first weekend in the New Year, but I just heard they're talking about a new variant. It's a combination of the Omicron and the Delta. They're gonna call it Delmicron, and some people have gotten it already.
mm,
I'm like, now wait a minute.
mm,
There's some. Sometimes I think there's something really fishy going on about uh this whole thing. I don't know. What are your thoughts, man? It's just like everybody they're talking about they want voting rights, but if you don't take care of the the stuff that they need to take care of, to me it ain't gonna make no difference
mm,
because people ain't gonna chance going out and standing in line anywhere voting. They ain't doing it. If you don't take care
right,
of the things that
and well, it's just if you gotta what they say, charity begins at home. You gotta take care of home first, and with all these different as you say, because that's the first time I've heard of it. But I wouldn't be I'm not surprised. Sometimes, like yourself, I'm like, are y'all trying to use all the letters of the Greek alphabet,
yeah. I mean,
or whatever the hell?
it doesn't. It seems like every time you turn around, it's going up and down. And I don't, to me, I've always said that this thing back in the 2008 and stuff, they had a outbreak of SARS in 2002. They had an outbreak of MERS. And see, they're all coronaviruses. What they've
Hmm.
never, and to this day, they
Hmm.
cannot prove, and they've not talked about this anymore. They have no evidence that this thing jumped from an animal. They're just going by that, but they really have no evidence of that. And the evidence is more conclusive in showing that in Wuhan they screwed up messing around with with these viruses. That sounds more plausible than
Hmm.
anything else that I've heard of. They have not come out. They don't want to come out and say that that's what happened because it makes them look bad and incompetent as far as messing around with stuff that they shouldn't have been messing around with.
Sure.
So they're gonna blame it on nature, and they have no
Hmm.
concrete proof of that. And that's what's really part of the problem in this whole situation. They don't know what's going on in these variants, and they keep saying, "Oh, we gotta get this part of the country vaccinated or these other people." Well, what's the problem? I've thought once before that they were doing that and they're sending that kind of stuff out, but now it
Yeah.
seems like there's a problem with even getting that. Is there a problem because they don't want to do it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
or is this just a problem? Period. Because um, I don't know. It makes you question a lot of stuff with our medical thing. They first they wanted to come out and say Omicron's not as uh lethal. Well, it's sending people to the hospital, so it's doing something. You're overwhelming the hospitals
Right.
anyway.
Right.
You can't walk around here and say something's not this, but then you got overwhelming in the hospitals. That doesn't make any sense. You tripping over to your words, what you were saying one thing, and then you come back and say, well, it's not as lethal, but the hospitals are getting overrun. Why are the hospitals getting overrun? And then people who've gotten all
Mm-hmm.
the necessary things are still getting affected. Even um Alice's brother got infected. He caught the thing, the chrome, the virus. I mean, he didn't get any, he didn't have any symptoms. And there's a lot.
Mm.
My cousin
Okay.
Jessica and her daughter got it. Okay. And I think it's because of her daughter was down. She picked her up from school down in Atlanta over the holidays. And they've both been vaccinated. So
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the biggest problems that the medical profession is going to face when you say this is not this, but yet you got people being sick and going to the hospital. You can't have it both ways. You got to start saying what in the hell's going on. And I'm not trying to start asking no conspiracy. You just got to be logical of what you see in the news, what's being presented in the news. Tell people to get vaccinated,
Mm-hmm.
but yet people are getting infected and sick. There's a problem. At one time they're talking about people wouldn't die, and then were people who did die who were fully vaccinated. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the talking point that has to be adjusted to the public. If you're gonna try to get more and more population vaccinated, they're gonna have to come out with the truth or just say we don't know what the hell we're doing. And really, they don't know what they really don't know how to handle this whole.
Because
Uh,
this thing is mutating.
as you,
I mean, it's mutating at warp, to use a Star Trek term. You know,
yeah,
it's
at warp
just
speed.
e- e- everything is just 1 month it's mutating into X and Y, and then another month C and D are being mutated. So it's just like, you
Yeah, it
know,
doesn't.
it, like trying to pin Jello to a wall.
Yeah, they need to go back to the foundational source of SARS. I mean, of the MERS and SARS and the coronaviruses, in its molecular structure, and find out what makes this thing do
Hmm.
that and thrive. Because if you understand that, then you can eliminate all the mutations. And see, they ain't doing that kind of stuff. They just keep on, well, this is a novel virus. It ain't that novel. It ain't that new. If it comes from the same family of coronaviruses, it ain't that new. They still share the same molecular structure. I'm not saying that I know anything, but there's a common sense if you remember your
Hmm.
biology from high school,
Right.
okay? It's like family. All your family share somewhat of the same molecular structure, your immediate family. You may have different this and that and whatever, but on a whole, you share the same traits. If you find out the weaknesses of that whole trait,
Hmm.
you can stop this damn virus from mutating. That's what they need to find out. How can
Hmm.
we stop these viruses from mutating? Obviously, it's not being stopped from a standpoint of the vaccines. The vaccines need to be able to either kill the virus with that once you catch it, so it can't either travel to another host. It's like have you ever watched this movie? I saw it on last night called The Fallen, Denzel Washington. And they talk about it get into some
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, I've seen it.
Well, it was on last night, and they were talking about how God kicked out certain angels, fallen angels that came to Earth, and now they're running havoc on humans by possessing their bodies, using them as a host to do all kinds of things. Well, that's what viruses are. The only way they can infect anybody is through infecting the body. They have to have a host to survive. If you are able to kill or have something in the body, even if it affects you, to kill the host, not to kill the host, but kill the virus or stop the virus, it cannot, and you got to stop it from spreading. And I don't think they're really stopping it from spreading. And if it's airborne, so I have trouble with the term airborne. To me, when you say airborne, that means not just from sneeze droplets. To me, airborne means that virus is in the atmosphere. To me, that means we probably need to be wearing masks whether we around somebody or not when we go outside.
All the time. Yep.
Yeah, but they're not saying that shit. They never give it the real distinction about what do y'all mean by airborne. Airborne to me means atmosphere spread. So, because there's too many people now with this thing, they're getting it, they've been vaccinated, they've been doing all this, and they're getting it, and they have no explanation for why. Once you don't have an explanation for why, then you don't gain the trust of the public, and they look at the medical professionals like a bunch of quacks. They don't know what's going on. And they really don't know what's going on. Because it seems like this thing is always 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of them. When they get doing this, something else mutates into something else. Like I just said, they just got there's another variant that's coming out on there, and there's already affected 25 people. It's a combination of this one and the Delta. So what does that mean?
Where is it originating from, Greg? Can you tell me, or can you tell us that? Because like I said, this is the first time I've heard that. So do they know the source?
What this new Delta, this new one? They didn't say where this originated from. All I heard was that this variant is now a combination. But you got to remember, when the Omicron came around, we were still dealing with Delta. So let's look at it this way.
Right.
It might have merged with Delta and created this new variant. See, we don't know. We don't know for sure.
That's very possible.
What this damn thing really is and what's happening, because the more and more I hear about all this variants and stuff, and even I've heard doctors say that the flu virus is a sort of a coronavirus. Okay, but why is it that this thing is so much a hazard to humans than any of the other ones? And nobody has an explanation from it. Everybody wants to say, it jumped from this and that. You can't say that. If you knew it, if you got an explanation that it jumped, then you need to go get these animals and find out what's causing why this thing has been so lethal to humans. Because there's there's only two explanations. There's something in these animals that made it do that, or the manipulation that they've been doing, what they call gain of function, is the one thing that's causing it to do what it's doing now. That's the only two explanations that make any sense at least to me. Okay. Now, anybody on Facebook or Facebook, don't be canceling us out because we saying that. I'm just being honest from what I hear on the news. Okay. The news. So you need to get on the news things about what's going on, the medical profession, what's going on. I'm just repeating what I've heard on the news. You hear it on all of CNN, MSNBC, all these news things are talking about this shit. So
Mm-hmm.
if they don't know what in the hell's causing this, and see, this is I just heard this just today, just before we got on about this new one. But there was another new one they were talking about. They never gave it a name. Well, they had a name. They always give it some kind of number thing,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't say that it was this combination of Omicron and Delta. So I don't know.
Okay.
All these variants that is coming out now, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy as hell. So I don't know. With that being said, I don't know, man. It's a crazy situation, man. Crazy situation that we're dealing with going in a second year into this. Some people want to talk about, well, we're going in a third year. I said, no, they didn't discover this damn thing until 2019. How we've been affected was since 2020. Okay. So this is only
Right.
really, we're
Right.
doing a second year of this thing. Um, because when we got a new, this was in late 2020 or mid 2020, March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2021 was the first holiday season we had this shit. Or was it? Wait a minute. No, 2020. We were in this in 2020. And then 2021.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know. I guess that's how you want to look at it. Because
Mm-hmm.
we've been in it 20, we've been in 3 holiday seasons, but only 2 years. Because if you look at it from a standpoint where we got when we had to go shut down, that was March of 2020. And we went through all that first 2020, that first year, that first Christmas season, then next year. So that's only still 2 years.
Right.
This is gonna be a third year. So I don't know, people. You know, yeah, well, we'll continue with whatever we know what's happening. Um, I don't know, the financial sector. I don't know, there I people are, some Columbus schools that got closed down again. I mean, they're doing a remote. And when we're talking about Zoom, some of these platforms, they're talking about kids got to have, personalized teaching. Well, even with Zoom and probably some of these other ones, they have what they call those breakout rooms where you can personalize and you can break up people into groups. Teachers, administrators, people out there
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to use these technologies because we do not know what the future is going to be like. And everybody keeps saying about the new normal. I kind of don't like the new normal scenario talking point. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of the term woke because that didn't help nothing in the scheme of things that we've had, you know. So I don't know. Those type of talking points need to be left back in 2021. I ain't using them no more. I get tired. I don't like hearing them anyway. They're kind of irritating in a lot of specs. Um, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So okay, we're past the top of the hour. I don't like to be too much past it. You got any other thoughts going into 2022? What your thoughts going to happen with 2022? Especially with this, we still dealing with this virus.
Well, for now, I think we're going to be doing what we're continuing to do. Um, with folks, with bringing folks information, uh, value of content that the best that we know how, and also not only because we feel that we can be a valuable asset to folks who are, not only just looking to start or maintain a home based business, but we also need to be aware of the events. We have to know what's going on, outside of the, your normal everyday life, to just to be functional. And you can't do that in a bubble. Yes, you have to protect yourself, so forth and so on, but you can't be blissfully ignorant of the things that are going on around you.
Yeah. We're in a situation where if we don't get a hold of this, we're gonna be back into a situation that we were in 2020. And these people are talking about, well, we're not gonna close the schools, or we're not gonna do this. Well, it may not be the choice. If you don't get a hold of this thing and try to stop the spread of it, you're gonna have no choice. No teacher, I wouldn't. It is not, you don't pay nobody enough money to go to a
Mm-hmm.
job, a classroom where you got people that are spreading a virus, a virus that has potential to put you in the hospital and
Well,
kill you.
and it's just like one teacher was saying it in in Chicago. She stated that, her her mother-in-law, I believe, her mother-in-law, who's currently living with them as a result of the pandemic. She said, if we go to schools like the mayor is asking us to do, you know, I don't know what student has the virus and who doesn't. Now, if I happen to contract it, I'm going to pass that on to my mother-in-law. And she
Right.
said her mother-in-law's in her 92. So, of course, they say the older you are, the more susceptible you are to get that. Excuse me. And she doesn't, of course, she doesn't want to. Doesn't want to take that home. If she's contracted, she doesn't want to take that home to her mother-in-law. I mean, who
Yeah.
would?
And just like I said, my cousin and her daughter, her mother's living with her now. And it
Hmm.
doesn't make sense. It's not worth all that. People are gonna have to adjust and learn different skills to be productive, because I'm always saying it don't matter at the end of the day. It's never gonna matter what laws y'all put out there, whether voting rights, because I'm getting to a point right now is that voting, ain't nobody gonna stand out in no place to vote with this when we got all these crazy viruses going on. Y'all forget about it.
Hmm.
Ain't no damn legislation, none of that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have enough productive people in the world to do anything, all that shit don't matter.
Hmm.
Okay? It don't matter. So we can talk all this junk until you get a hold of what you need to get a hold of first. Everything else behind that is irrelevant to me. I'm just putting that out there. It's irrelevant. Voting rights, irrelevant. Okay? Because you got too many people sick, it don't matter. Because if you don't take care from the national level of voting to state by state, and I've been saying this forever, the voting rights you keep talking about really don't matter, for the simple fact, if we don't recognize that we do not, as a people, vote for our president is through electoral. And then they just said that we don't, even on MSNBC, somebody said, we don't vote in our president. That's our electors. Well, he just busted out everything I've been saying. He said, our electoral colleges vote the presidency in. So, what I've been telling people is that the vote that we do in November is just a pacifying the people to make them feel like they have a say in the vote. That's the only way you can explain it to, until we start complaining about what really needs to be said. We need to be talking about getting rid of the electoral college. We need to be telling people we want a say in our vote. We don't want a say. We don't want a thing based off of a few men that we have no clue who they are. We want to say on who goes to the White House, not a bunch of electors. That's bullshit. That's what we need to be fighting about, not all this, because voting rights should be part of that, getting rid of the electoral college. Okay? The way they keep talking about voting rights is this gerrymander and all that. They can do all that shit, but at the end of the day, they still controlling who you put in the White House. Ain't got nothing. People want to argue to me about, well, it's based off. No, it's not. If it's based off the people, let's keep it simple, folks. I like to keep things simple. If it's based off the people, they would not need for a vote in December 16th of every year of the president election. There would never not to be another vote with Congress. If we at the people are truly have a say in the vote in this country, there would not be a need for all that. Other than that, it's bullshit and everybody's lying to you. Everybody. President's lying to you. Vice president's lying to you. Congress is lying to you. The media is lying to you. All that is a big, fat lie. And until we start recognizing it for what it is and stop being passive about it and saying, oh, well, we're going to do this. And they need to call out all the people. I'm talking even people like Reverend Al need to call. Stop talking this shit when we don't even vote. We don't even have a say in the vote. Quit saying we have a say in the vote where you got electors making the decisions for it. It's bullshit. I get tired of hearing shit and then they tripping over their own feet about what they say we have a right to do, and it's not true. You can't talk saying here, this is what we got, and then somebody else says, oh, but this is what happened. You sound stupid and you sound ignorant and you're tripping over your own damn thing. See, it's a fucked up game. Really. Well, what's your thoughts on that? Then we're gonna get off of here. Because you're a political science student. What's your thoughts?
I do not disagree with anything you just said there, because each time, and let's just talk about the Electoral College. I mean, it's from basic civics. You know, the Electoral College was established so, and of course, this was back in the early days of the post revolution, that the smaller states would have equal say, as well as the more populous or I mean, states was, what's wrong with me and my peas today? But the states that were more populous, but so there's and that's why there was a system, so a census, so that we could check the numbers, so forth and so on. Each state would have at least two senators, and based on population, a certain number of representatives. So just in case you all want to know, Ohio's had 18. The last election, Ohio had 18 congressmen. That's going to go down now because of we went down in population. So now we're going to have 15 of representatives. So as far as the electoral college goes, that means they're going to go down in the I forget how many electoral 15. It's going to have 15 electors now instead of 18. So as like the states are like California, Texas, they picked up a couple of electors. So until we get rid of that system, it's just going to keep going. It's going to keep going, and the reason why it's going to keep going because every 4 years we vote for that system, and when we vote, we're saying, "Hey, that's okay."
Yeah, as long as we keep doing
Every
it,
time we vote for that,
if we
we're
don't
saying,
raise
"Hey,
hell,
we're good with the status quo."
yeah, if we don't raise hell about that instead of some minor bullshit, because right there is the problem with everything. That too affects all your state thing. You always talking about elections start in the states or local. Well, the electoral college, as you just mentioned, affects that. Until we get that, until we start having a say so as a nation of people instead of certain states and Senate, as you mentioned, it's not a fair election, no matter on what side, because it's all decided on that premise. And until that premise is dealt with, the only so-called civilized country that votes that way. Everybody else votes based off the people's vote. You can't talk this shit saying it is the people's vote when it ain't the people's vote. When we go vote, all it is to make people. It's to make people feel like they have a say so. That's all our vote, our thing is when we go to the polls in November. That's why people say our vote don't count. See, people fail to understand there's checks and balances in being in the presidency. You got to be willing to play that fucked up game to say this and that is why we do this and that, and then and keep the people convinced. And convince me. I'm just one of them type of people. Once you show me what truly something is, you expect me to go back. It's like the Matrix. Okay? Red pill, blue pill. Once I wake up to the truth, you think I'm gonna go back to the fantasy land just to be comfortable? Fuck that. I'm not doing it. No. You can't go back to something that you can't unlearn something that you see as the truth and go back to
Right.
the bullshit. Ain't no way. I'm not doing it.
What you can't unring a bell.
No, can't unring a bell. And the bell's been unrung
Mm-mm.
since we had Trump in 2019. Lawrence O'Donnell explained the damn electoral college, and he's explained it a few times. And people, that's what we need to be fighting about, not this other bullshit. Because if we fight for this, they're gonna have to do the other shit. See, we too many times we fight for little crumbs that don't mean a damn thing to help anybody, especially don't help black people. I just ran into this other video talking about families. A million, you know what makes billionaires? Billionaire families like the Heinz and the Walmarts, the Waltons. Well, the biggest problem with black folks, yeah, you got all these people in sports that are we stem to run on a premise of individualism. We don't run on a premise of family and group because they've been telling us that we ain't shit. and there's still a lot of self-hate. And until we start understanding to bring that type of money together, we're always going to struggle because we got no communities. The families are that's why they did all the breakup of the families of black people in the 90s, where in the 60s there was a father or somebody in the house. You know what I mean? Their family. They broke up
Right.
all that family in the 90s
Right.
to cause more strife. You can't just because somebody here's a millionaire, that don't help this family over here or that immediate family in your immediate thing.
Hmm.
You got to bring that money together. This bullshit that I hear some talking about. Well, why you still living? I hear somebody. Why you still living your family? Well, you know what? The family nucleus is going to have to come back together because with this virus happening, you're going to need grandmas, aunties to watch your kids and shit. See, once before, when I grew up, you had that kind of family nucleus around. You don't have this because everybody got this attitude about, well, I want to do this individual bullshit, and you're getting screwed left and right because you can't find nobody. You complain to have to pay child support to go work at a job, but you're getting infected by the
Hmm.
virus. All these type of things you got to look in terms together. If we don't start looking at bringing all that shit back together and taking care of family and fuck all this individual bullshit, ain't gonna be nobody left, white, black, or nobody, because they're talking about living with this virus. Fuck that. Okay,
Hmm.
let's be real about this. They know what this damn thing is, and I think they could do something about it. There's a whole lot of bullshit that ain't making any damn sense, and we're going in another year with this thing with the possibility of another variant that's a combination of Omicron and Delta. We don't know. They're fucking up, and we need to call out these motherfuckers. All that shit. Really, I get really tired. People, a group, more people need to call them out. And if you don't, you sit back. You're part of the problem, people. You're part of the problem. Ain't gonna make no difference about no damn job if you sick. Damn fuck a job, fuck a job. If you can't perform, you can't make no money no way.
Hmm.
That's my thing today. I didn't mean to go this long, but I just after over the holidays and seeing this shit that's been going on, I said there's somebody ain't doing their job right. Okay, and we're far above way from the Trump administration. We can't blame anything on the Trump administration right now. This is the Biden administration, even though the Trump administration helped with the bullshit that's going on. This is Biden. Now, what the fuck they gonna do?
Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
and if they can't do nothing, then there is gonna be a lot of mistrust in everything about the government, especially with this thing. Because if you can't solve this, as you said, they're not people gonna say, "Fuck it, no, I'm not gonna do this because y'all promised this and that, and y'all still can't do it. You still sitting there twiddling your thumb. They ain't happening." So, with that being said, I'm done with my little rant on this thing. But it needed to be said because we're in that situation. We're no better off even going into 2022 than we are when we're in the last 2 years. So they're gonna have to really understand, and it's going to be up to the people because if they don't, they're going to have something worse than an insurrection that they had a year ago. That's all I got to say. So you got any last thoughts, comments, criticisms?
Hey guys, we haven't said it before. We're into the new year, so happy new year. We're a full weekend now. Please continue to join us as we lead you to some things that'll help you to learn master your skill sets that you're going to need going into 2022 and beyond. So as Greg alluded to earlier, some new stuff is going to be coming down later in the year. Drop our insights. Not just on the home based business, but as we like to talk about the events that's going on because you got to know what's going on to know what you need to do going forward.
Okay, let me see where my all this. Oh, I don't want to hide that. I'm just checking to see where my video clips are at. Are they gone? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, people. We'll see you at next week at the same time. We're back for 2022. We're gonna be serious about some things, more serious than even last year. You'll hear on what's going on and what we bring to you. We're gonna bring to you some more. We're gonna really bring to you a lot more solutions that we're gonna be getting information on. Because I'm telling you, more y'all better learn how to use technology to work from home. Fuck all that trying to go to a job. You better start learning how to work from home, make money from your computer. Okay. That being said, my name is Greg Smith. This is Ken Robinson, business partner, been known since 2007, 8, somewhere around that damn long time. I don't know.
Yep. 2007, 2008. Yes, sir.
So, with that being said, people have a great rest of your weekend. The first week of 2022 down, people. Next week we're gonna be halfway through this month. Can you believe that? Hey, Tommy, zipping by, and then we're gonna be going into
Yes, it
Martin
is.
Luther King Day that next day. So, people, peace.
Yep.
Take care. We are out.
Take